Hello, everybody. And I have decided that on this channel, sometimes I will do the reading from this book, The Rave I'Ching Life Companion by RA URU HU. So, for some beginners here, I would like to say that in this book, when we have a gate, or a channel, but here it's gate by gate, I will do the readings gate by gate directly from this book. If I will feel like, I will give a comment. And I decided to start right from the end of the book. I had the response to read about the 34th gate of the sacral center. The sacral center is of enormous importance to us because it is the generator of life itself. It generates life, and out of it, life comes to an end. It is so important to keep in mind that the vast majority of what gets done on Earth gets done through the sacral frequency, which generates the whole life energy, the living energy of what it is to be on Earth. Within the sacral, there is a deep mystery. Every gate of the sacral has a mirror running throughout the whole design. The sacral is this wonderful and deeply misunderstood engine within us. The whole thing to recognize about the sacral center is that it carries within it an enormous mystery, because the sacral center is unlike any other center in the body. It carries within it some form of microcosm, an aspect of each of the other center. Each of the gates within the sacral center have a unique function within the sacral, which mirrors other centers within the design. The 34th gate, the gate of power out of sacral center. This is the sacral's ego. There are reference points within the sacral to each of the other centers. It is deeply complex. And because it has a similarity in many ways to the nature of the throat center, it is also so important to understand that the sacral expresses itself verbally as sounds. These sounds are a pure form of communication. They are a legitimate form of communication and also generates a frequency. To understand the sacral center is to understand that it is a generator. A generator, anything that generates, will, in any dualistic framework, generate. A sacral center is about life and death. It is the only center that separates us sexually. The sacral center is the only center that differentiates us in terms of gender. It is the only center that by its very nature determines whether we are going to be yin or yang, or whatever the combination is within each, what we call the male and female. The sacral is the only center that operates differently for a woman than it does for a man. A male reaches sexual maturity at 18, that is very young. That means until that point, the sacral center is generating, and it is gaining momentum in its power, and it peaks at 18, and then it begins a slow degenerating process. In a woman, it takes place somewhere around 31 years. Totally different cycle of generation in the frequency. There is nothing as profound as just reading or listening to Ra, because Ra was the messenger and he called himself a messenger of human design. And every time I hear and listen to his voice or I read his words, it takes me mechanically just to the essence of what design is. And I believe it also takes me to the essence of what it is to living my design. And me as a generator, just here being reminded how complex and how profound is the process of generating the energy. And here we have read about the sacral generates sounds, and in this way it also similar to the throat. And because, for example, my throat is open, I think most of what I start to speak really comes from my sacral center, because I can feel, you know, something is coming out, and then I am actually verbalizing what is there, what I'm having a response to, or what I'm not responding to. 34th gate is the gate for a generator when you have it, when it's defined. Is that if you don't put yourself on the first place in this life, you don't put yourself as a priority, you are cut off from your empowerment. And I'm also being reminded on this every time when I go with my mind and start thinking about a bigger picture for others, with others, and I'm not very present in the moment to hear and to confirm with my response what it is there for me, and then I'm cut off, and then I lose my power, and then I cannot be of any service and of any power to others. 34th gate will not allow you to not be here and now, not to be in the moment, and not to feel what is good for you here and now, not for others, not for, you cannot take responsibility for any other person, but just for you. What is good for you? What is healthy for you? Is it for you or is it for others? And if you're following what is good for you, whether it's good or bad, or, you know, no matter how it's described for by the people, by the environment, and if you're following that, then you are an empowered generator, self-empowered generator, and then, and only then, you can self-empower others. I hope this reading was useful, and I will carry on with Rave I'Ching.